All right, so we're still yapping about the Lakers. I just heard a rumor. Now, the Lakers and the Pacers. Now, obviously, the Pacers are looking to make moves. I made a video about it, but it deleted. But basically, I think it's been reported that the Pacers are looking to either rebuild or retool, and they have a bunch of players that they can use to kind of make themselves better. And one of the pieces they're looking to move is Jeremy Lamb, and one of the names being mentioned is THT for the Lakers. Um, Now, we've previously mentioned in the very previous video, actually, that THT is somebody I'm starting to warm up to the understanding that maybe it's best to move him based on the timeline that we have versus his production right now. What we need him to do is just not being he's not able to give it to us right now. Um, and I think that we need to get better. Like we must get better. He's probably our best piece to trade, unfortunately. So as I'm warming up to that, I look and I hear rumors and stuff about this type of trade, and I just wanted to kind of chime in on it. I like Jeremy Lamb, but I would never do this deal. Like from what I understand, they want THT and a pick. That's out. Ain't no way I'm doing that. That's not even. I'm not even looking in that direction of considering answering the phone if I know something like that's going to be proposed. I'm letting it ring. That's how far away from reality that is actually going to be for the Pacers. They are going to have to bring down Jeremy Lamb's value significantly if they want to move him. That's what I will say. They got the game messed up, and if they're valuing Jeremy Lamb that high, then I can imagine that they're probably outpricing their other assets too, which makes me think they're on the fence about actually moving those assets. So that's a whole nother conversation to talk about the Pacers wanting to rebuild. How serious are you? It's the same thing I say about any trade. If you're not willing to give up what it takes to get back what it is you're asking for, then don't pick up the phone and call nobody, man. You got to come with a real deal. THT and a pick for Jeremy Lamb is not laughable. It's insulting, and it's not because Jeremy Lamb can't help you. He's a good role player with long arms, some ability. He has big game ability. You'll see a 30-point game out of him. You'll see him get some good have some good rebounding games. But he's not a star. He's not somebody who's going to move the needle too much. He'll help our team significantly. And I think he'll be an upgrade in some ways for what it is we need THT to be, which is why I think anybody would entertain such a deal. But there's no way in hell, or in heaven, or on earth, that I'm giving up a young player and a pick for Jeremy Lamb. That's not happening. Not at all. He's a fully developed player. We know exactly who he is. I would imagine that the upside does not exist because of that. And who you're getting is exactly who you're getting. And I like Jeremy Lamb, so I'd definitely sign him if he were bought out or if he were a free agent wanting to take like a couple $1,000,000. Yeah, he's an upgrade from what we have. Can't stress that enough. You definitely want to acquire him, but not at the price of THT. Are you crazy? Hell no. Now, if we're talking about a second round pick, man, we're talking. Now we're talking. But you're going to have to get THT name all the way out of that. You better come up with something else. You get a 3-team trade. We can try to retain that value somehow. If you do, that's the type of value y'all want. I don't know how you're going to get it. You ain't getting it from me. I'll tell you that. So that's out. That's absolutely out. So that's what I just wanted to say. I wanted to make it very clear that I was totally against that rumor. I think I'm hearing it from credible sources that the Lakers are really considering this. And it's not a good deal. No, absolutely not. I do see the fruit in trading THT. I see the fruit in bringing in Jeremy Lamb, but I do not want to do. I don't want to do that deal. No way in hell. So that's one thing. And I think if you're talking about trading away THT, you have to give me something young, man. I don't want a guy who's in his 30s or a guy who's in his 28 or how. I don't know how old Jeremy Lamb is, but I'm not looking for a player that's not a real upside talent that can move the needle for me. If I'm giving up a player who I know is going to move the needle for somebody someday. Yeah, they have to develop him, but THT is a needle mover. Ain't no way. I'm not giving him up. And not only that, but I look at THT and Malcolm Brogdon. When I look at the type of metrics those two players have, that's a sneaky good tandem that you're putting together if you're the Pacers. Because those are guys, long arms, big hands, guards. Sneaky length is always a beautiful thing to have, especially with productive players that can put the ball on the floor. And you have two of those guys, those are two pit bulls. So if the Pacers find a way to put THT together with Malcolm Brogdon, you heard it here first. That's a pit bull backcourt that I think could do a lot of damage, a whole lot of damage, as THT develops. So it's not like I hate THT for the Pacers. They should definitely want him. But you better come up for something else. You better. Now, you really want to get me to move THT? You want to talk about it? You go. Let's start talking about that big center you got down there. That guy by the name of Turner. What's it gonna take to get him up off of you? Because obviously it's gonna take more than THT in my mind. But that's the type of deal I'd be willing to involve THT in. We got to get a center down here who can stretch the floor and block shots. So if we're getting a trade going, it better be for Miles Turner. It had better be for Miles Turner. You know, and I'd love to bring in a guy like Caris LeVert as well, because I know how serious of a role player he can be, or even better than a role player. Honestly, he's better than that. A star player he can be. I would say he's a role player because of how many injury concerns that you have with him coming in. It balances out his upside, unfortunately. But if let's just assume I expect him to be healthy for the next 4 years, that's an all-star. So yeah, I like Caris LeVert a lot. But as far as Jeremy Lamb, sure, we can bring him in. But I look at him as somebody who's equivalent to a second-round pick. He ain't worth no THT. Please stop this. Stop this right now. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Absolutely not. I'm happy and I'm proud of Laker Nation. I haven't seen a single soul who agreed with that trade. Everybody sees it the same way I do. That is a bad trade on all fronts. Even casuals agree. There's no way in hell we're doing that. So no, don't do that, Rob. We'll be calling for your head you do that. So that's what I got to say, man. You ain't got 2 Zubac trades to make, Rob. You ain't got to. I just want to put that out there as a Laker fan. I sat through that. I still don't know what the heck that was about. That was about as egregious to me as not running the ball if you're the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl about 5 years ago. Just as egregious. You do not give Zubac away for somebody that is not going to be on your roster the following year. No. Heck no. A young center who can hit free throws the way that he did. I'll never get over that. So, as I say to you, this Jeremy Lamb trade be just as bad as that. If we were to give up THT in a trade for Jeremy Lamb, it'd be just as bad. So no, he ain't got 2 of those. Not if he wants to stay in my good graces. Anyway, that's what I got, man. I'm enjoying talking to you guys today. And hopefully the NBA will continue to feed us more topics. Thank y'all for watching. Video 44. Peace.